Well, shalom, everyone. The question that we posed today is it better to pray individually a Vatikin, meaning waking up early in the morning and starting to pray 20 or 25 minutes before sunrise, and then hitting sunrise with the Amida at perfect timing, or praying with a Minyan, and he's going to actually give even an option of praying with a Minyan before Vatikin, and question if that is overrides. So first we'll see what the different opinions are, and then I'll try to explain a little bit more. So the Achronim disagree over what is preferable, praying Vatikin individually or praying in the Minyan after the time of Vatikin. Some say that since the Chachamim praise the person who prays Vatikin and teach that no harm befalls him the whole day, it is better to pray Vatikin individually. Still, others say that it is preferable to pray in Minyan, for prayer in a Minyan is sure to be heard. Additionally, there are doubts regarding the precise time of Vatikin, as clarified in Halacha 6, and it is not proper that an uncertain Vatikin prayer takes precedence over prayer in a Minyan. Therefore, it is customary to teach that prayer in a Minyan is preferable. However, a person who regularly prays Vatikin in a Minyan and one day does not have a Minyan for Vatikin is permitted to pray Vatikin individually on that day so as not to stray from his custom. So let's concentrate just on this first part. We learned already that praying once a day is a biblical obligation, but the Torah does not tell us when that one time a day is, and that's why when the temple was destroyed, the rabbis were discussing and comparing to the three forefathers or the three acts in the temple, which regarded the two tamids, the morning and late afternoon, and the removal of the burning of whatever was left over on the altar during the night. So that's the first thing that we have to remember. The second thing is that sgulot, what we call like a good omen, just because the rabbis promise that no harm will befall this person the whole day, a lot of sgulot today, this one is authorized, it's already in the Talmud, but a lot of these omens and good charms are just things that people invented. And the example I always give is that there's a belief that if you made a successful shidduch, then if you did that 3 times, you're for sure going to Gan Eden. I think that you're for sure going to Gan Eden if you let people live and don't push a shidduch that might end up with a divorce. So, as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So, just this idea of separating myself from the community because I want to pray in Vatikin, unless you can convince other people to do it with you and concentrate, I just checked the earlier times. The earliest Vatikin would be at 5:15 a.m. And that's with daylight savings, and that's on June 14th. So to wake up so early in the morning and then try to concentrate on davening, I don't know. I think that it's better to pray with a minyan, regardless, and so that's my understanding of this first part, which is that prayer in a minyan is preferable, and the last example where he said that a person who regularly prays Vatikin, so let's say that not the usual 10 showed up, and so they're asking themselves, should we wait now for the 7 o'clock minyan, or should we pray individually? I think that in that case, Rabbi Melamed is correct that it is permitted to pray Vatikin individually. And maybe the word individually is not the right word, it's just without a minyan on that day. So as not to stray from his custom, because Minhag Israel Dinhu, and it's also the question of neder, that you make an oath to always do that, and there are people who have. Last but not least, about this part, Rav Ovadia Yosef gave a halacha to Sephardi yeshivas when they started being more popular, to say slichot at night after midnight only if they're going to be able to concentrate on the prayer in the morning. Otherwise, he said, shorten the slichot and say them just before you start shacharit and go to sleep at a normal hour, and don't do it at midnight. So I think that that's the direction Rabbi Lamed is also talking about. Now, the second example is regarding a person who has two options: to pray in a minyan before Netz, which is the time of prayer b'diavad, which means only special circumstances, or to pray individually afterwards at Vatikin. There is disagreement. According to many, it is preferable that he pray individually at Vatikin, and still there are those who say that it is better to pray in a minyan before Netz, provided that he starts reciting Berkot Kriyat Shema after Mishiakir, recognizing a friend who's more like an acquaintance, or discerning between the white and the blue of the tzitzit. It is advisable for one to ask his rabbi concerning this. If the regular minyan before Netz will be cancelled because a number of people decide to pray at Vatikin individually, it is preferable that everyone prays together in a minyan before Netz. He doesn't say this, but I think that I remember from different people who asked him when they were starting to do a minyan Vatikin in the yeshiva, and not in the yeshuv. He's also the rabbi of the yeshuv Har-Bracha, not only the yeshiva, but he said that people who are trying to create a minyan that will be b'di'evet because they need to go to work, and some of them need to travel a whole hour, not even rush hour, because there is no rush hour at 6 o'clock in the morning, just to get through the barricade and all that stuff. So he said, if you are able to help people who are davening like this, you don't have to daven with them. Just be there in order for them to count you as a minyan, and then go to the regular minyan, and that way you're helping more people keep the mitzvah. And that's I think a general rule, because certain movements in Judaism have said that you're allowed to break Shabbat in order to come to shul, and I believe that they're wrong, because and I don't teach it to my community because I know that a lot of them do, but I'm saying I think it's wrong because the way to fulfill the closeness to Hashem and to help a minyan is to do it the right way. So if you are able to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning in order to help people who are davening because they have to run to work, and then you can pray, normally and quietly together with another minyan later, I think that is definitely preferable. But the reason I think Rabbi Melamed did not write this example is because it will confuse people, meaning, do I have 6 now? Do I have 4? How many people are allowed to be not davening with us? And what are they going to be doing? Sitting just and reading a book? That's also not appropriate. So it's more like an individual kind of direction, and of course we don't want to harm any minyan. Any minyan has somebody called it a soul of itself. Like once the group gets together, it's like you can feel that there's a specific soul, a specific neshama to this minyan, and it doesn't mean that some other one is not good. It just means that the people who come regularly create that special connection, and that's why they stop fighting when they realize, let's just set a time that most of us can pray, and if people need more time afterwards or before, then that's also okay. So and I think we'll end with that, and tomorrow, of course, we will talk about the actual calculation of the times of during the day completely, not only for Vatikin, but just in understanding the halachic time.